Hey,
Hey.
Lewis. I wanna talk about all those toys in the background, man. They look awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, you can take it whatever the one you want. I can send it to you.
Yeah, I've got so many toys and figures and dioramas and all of that in my office. So yeah, I love all those toys, man. Which one is your favorite?
Um, I got here one that you maybe know, Deadpool,
I
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and also I have Spider-Man and Wolverine here are like my favorites.
Yeah, awesome. Which Wolverine is it? Which outfit is he wearing?
It's the classic, the orange one.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. What is that
Yeah,
special box you? I never seen boxes like that before.
yeah, they sell these kind of boxes, these kind of Funkos,
Oh
and they
man.
usually sell the classic ones.
I need to up my game, man. Next time I'm at Comic Con, I'm gonna keep an eye open, man. Nice one, dude.
Well, thank you for having me here, Ed and Fra. I would like to start by saying that it's an honor to be here talking with you too. I love your villain characters. Atticus is amazing. The way he talks, the way he fights is excellent. And Belisarius is so evil, so despicable that makes you hate him from the beginning. I mean, both interpretations were spectacular.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank
It's,
you,
it's a
mate.
pleasure to talk to you as well, man.
Cheers.
Well, my first question is for Ed. The final battle between you and Korra on the ship, where you are fighting with swords and you are like sliding on the ship,
The
was
Titanic
amazing,
scene.
and it
Titanic
looks
scene.
like it was not easy to fight in that condition. How was the experience, like filming that scene?
You know, like one of the best things about this industry and about this job is like you get to do like completely new things, new experiences. You get to like challenge yourself, and at the beginning you read stuff and you say, "How the are we gonna shoot this?" And then you go there and they say, "We're gonna shoot it like this," and you think, "How the am I gonna do this?" And then you practice, and then you get there on the day and you think, "How the am I gonna do this?" And you do it. Um, and that was just crazy. Like the ambition that we had to shoot at an angle. When we would come in and do rehearsals on the weekend, we would need a crew of like 15 people to just be behind the scenes to help us move the gimbal up and down and to move the angle. Sometimes we would be fighting while it was moving, and so you start to fall more and more. So it was like being a kid, and we were having so much fun. Shout out to Spider, my stunt double, and Mel, Cora's stunt double, who I was dancing with loads, fighting with, fight dancing, my favorite kind of dancing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really hard, really challenging, but a lot of the time,
That's an amazing sequence.
it is, man.
You have
Yeah.
to be so proud of it. It's super, super cool. I was saying to Ed, it's the Titanic moment of Rebel Moon. you know, just the ship is doing this. Like so awesome.
Yeah, it was very good that scene. Well, my next question is for Fra. We haven't seen your character's full potential yet, but for what we could see in part one and part two, we can identify your character is very dangerous. So, what do you think is the level of evil of your character, and what can you share with us that maybe we can see in future movies? I mean, talking about the evilness of your character.
Yeah. Well, I think the scene in part two, which fully explains Cora's difficulty in not being able to share this dark part of her life, and Balisarius clearly has had such an unbelievable hold on her, and it's pretty brutal, and it's pretty psychopathic what he forces her to do. He's played a very, very clever, manipulative game throughout all of her life. He's sort of adopted her as a young kid and groomed her for this final purpose. And I think there's something really, because although I genuinely do think he cared for her, and there's like a sick type of love going on. He always knew that she would serve a purpose. And so it would be wonderful if there's an opportunity, possibly we'll get to see it, in extended versions of this film, later this year. But to properly see that very, very calculated story of how he has groomed this young, vulnerable girl into being a weapon for him in order to achieve his means. There's a lot of, we've just been given fragments of this story, and it would be wonderful to sort of have a fully fledged version of that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but it would be awesome.
It would also inform the audience so much more about Cora
Absolutely,
as a
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So it will serve a lot of purposes. I like ambiguity in storylines. I like not filling in all the blanks all the time, but like I feel like we need to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see more about your character and his story.
Thank you,
It looks
mate.
amazing. Well, my next couple of questions are for both of you, but I would like to start with Ed. We have two different but powerful villains in this movie. Atticus is very smart, powerful, and is an amazing fighter. On the other side, we have Belisarius that is also smart. He's more strategic and crafty villain. Who do you think is more dangerous between these two characters?
I think if you were locked in a room with him, I think Noble is very dangerous. And I don't think there's many people you'd less want to have within, let's say, striking distance. But I think it's clear that Noble's military strategy in part 2 is undermined by his lust for revenge and violence against Cora. Belisarius, I think, is a lot more dangerous from afar, and with his power that he commands, right?
Totally. I think it's just how he envisaged his life. He starts off as a soldier, as you see in those flashbacks in part 1, but I think he always has the ambition of being the person who commands in a safe distance, far, far away, keeping his hands relatively clean and allowing other people to do the dirty work. Whereas I suspect Noble actually loves being
On the front line.
front line and getting his hands dirty and actually seeing the devastation that he causes with his own eyes. He gets a thrill out of that. Belisarius is sort of happy to just for someone to report back, yeah, it's been done. And there's no more conversations to be had. Which in a way is a lot more dangerous. In a way, he is the master puppeteer in the background that seemingly is doing little, but actually is causing complete havoc.
It is indicative of that thing which is like, the obvious answer is Noble, but the real answer is Belisarius.
Sure. Yeah. This was a test. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you. Well, just to finish, could you help me sending a message to the audience in Colombia and Latin America?
Oh, sorry.
All right, well, thank you, man. I was just about to say, shout out Lucho Diaz.
Very good.
Luis Diaz is one of my favorite Colombians, and shout out to his dad as well. He's always in the stands
he's great.
at Liverpool. So much love to Lucho and all of Colombia, and I hope to make it out there sometime, man. Much love, and also, of course, Carlos Valderrama, the greatest hair of all time, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, they are great. Thank you.
Thanks, man.